You're listening to Bring Me the Axe. I'm Brian White. I'm one half of this morbid equation, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother, Dave White. Hey, Dave, how you doing over there?
Thank you for asking. I am positively Bonnie. Nope, it's not true, actually. I feel like I'm getting sick. I think I feel like everybody else I know. Everybody's getting sick.
Yeah? Everybody tracked disease into your house
I guess so.
over the weekend?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just allergy. It's bad allergy season.
It's allergies is what it is. I got the allergies going.
Yeah, post-nasal drip. Yeah.
I don't care for it.
Well, yeah, it's also this weather, it just sucks. It has been cold and raining for 72 years.
Yeah. That's like I said in previous episodes about living in New England. It's kind of like we have two seasons out here in the Northeast. We have a winter, which is fairly mild, and then in the middle it gets really, really bitter cold. And then it's just cold until all of a sudden it's fucking summer. And it's just hot as hell until it's cold again.
It didn't used to be that way, though. It
didn't used to be that way.
Is this the climate change I
believe it's a climate change.
I've heard so much about.
I don't care for it. I hear it's bad.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
You know what we could do to sort of fix things, make the seasons a little bit more mild?
Sacrifice people.
Sacrifice an annoying Christian guy.
Yeah, well, I know where to find a lot of those.
They're everywhere. Mm-hmm. We are just lousy with annoying Christian people.
Just turn around, you stub your toe on one of them.
I'll tell you, I would even like, it seems like building the Wicker Man is kind of a pain in the ass. It's a real feat of primitive engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take the steps to go there. Like if that's what's required, if that's an important part of the step, I would do that.
I wonder how long it takes them to build it. Just out there weaving them sticks together.
I mean, if this movie is anything to go by, about 12 hours.
Yep. Yeah, just toss that thing up.
Just get it up there, throw a dude in there, set it on fire, boom. Your crops for the next season are fantastic.
That's the finale to Fuckfest 1973.
Gutfest 89.
Ooh.
So we practically grew up in neighborhood video stores, and the steady diet of utter garbage that those shops provided us with continues unabated to this day. There's no one else I enjoy chopping it up with more about trashy movies than Dave. Just before we get into it, here's a little housekeeping. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the Axe Pod, and Dave's over there at That Werewolf. I encourage you to join us. Click the follow button. Look us up. Click the follow button. Keep up with all the goings on. We have so much in the pipe.
It's true.
Yep. And if you don't know, we have another show called 99 Cent Rental, where we cover all manner of video store madness of the week's Bring Me the Axe is off. Our latest episode covering George Romero's Martin is out now. And we'll be back next week with a look at Blue Velvet. The candy-colored clown.
I was going to say that hilarious comedy.
Listen, what do? You find a severed ear in your front yard. What are you supposed to do? Don't go chasing down that mystery. That's what I say.
Well, then you wouldn't be in a David Lynch movie.
No, you wouldn't.
That's why you're not in a David Lynch movie.
Don't sleep on Laughing in the Dark. It's our Are You Afraid of the Dark rewatch podcast with for them 90s kids. You know it. You love it. It scared the shit out of you when you were a child. Now come back to it as an adult and be absolutely amazed at what a wuss you were.
I'll tell you what, I was not scared of that show.
It's not scary.
Nope.
Though we've had a couple of moments on it where we were all like, whoa, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it does get weirdly dark sometimes.
Sometimes it does, yeah. But it's the two of us. It's Mikey from The Rewatcher. You love that. You love Mikey. It's our friend Eileen from Uike Horror, or as she says, Uike Horror.
Well, thank God she's doing it for me, because she knows I can't roll my R's.
Yeah, if you can get that wherever you get podcasts now, it's funny. Get on that shit. You can also contact us directly at bringmetheaxepod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know that if there's a movie that you love and would like to hear us, give it the business. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up at patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. There's a couple of tiers you can join there. All paying members get ad-free episodes. And subscribers at the $5 a month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod, Do You Think I'm Spooky?
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's 50% X-Files, 50% this day in history in the 1990s.
Which turns out to be a lot like this day in history right now.
It's the more things change, the more they stay the same. Yeah. Latest episode is a look at season 2 episode Colony. And there's also our monthly Bring Me the Axe Millennium Edition, which is a bonus episode in which we explore a modern horror movie. The current episode is a look at Green Room from 2015. Real
gross movie.
Real meat grinder of a siege movie. Yep. And all Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels, voice and video chat, and the watch parties option. Pop in on a Friday night, watch a horror movie with us.
Did you guys you watch this one?
Oh yeah, we watched this one. We had a real good time watching this one.
Everybody thought it was Bonnie.
Everybody, it was Bonnie. You know, a couple of people were enjoying a little of the old John Barleycorn.
It's one of my favorite euphemisms.
John Barleycorn makes an appearance in this movie.
Yep.
Once again, that's patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. And lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube. Search us by name and subscribe if you prefer to consume your podcast that way. And you'd be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So take a moment. Just take a minute.
Please.
Click that 5-star button if you haven't already.
Please do it. Please.
We are on bended knee.
I mean, you know, we get occasionally people are like, oh, you're too woke. I'm going to give you 1 star for being too woke. Wish I could give you no stars.
Got to balance that shit out.
Yeah, we need you.
Got to raise those numbers.
Someone is trying to silence my beautiful sonorous voice.
It's they just hate freedom of speech. And if you listen on YouTube, do us a favor, give the episode a like and leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. Just want to get that all out of the way right at the top of the show so we can hit you with this very Bonnie trailer. Here we go.
I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood.
I am here to investigate the disappearance of a young girl. Where is Rowan Morrison?
If Rowan Morrison existed, we would know.
I suspect murder.
Sergeant, I've already...
In the name of God, woman, what kind of mother are you? That can stand by and see your own child slaughtered?
You are the fool, Mr. Harry.
You're liars. You are despicable little liars. Dear God in heaven, even these people can't be that mad. Where is Rowan Morrison?
If Rowan Morrison existed, we would know.
I suspect murder.
She was back.
You are the fool, Mr. Harry.
Where is Rowan Morrison?
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's the Wicker Man.
Where is Rowan Morrison?
It's 90 minutes of a whole bunch of Scottish people just gaslighting a really annoying dude.
Oh, he's the fucking worst.
He is. Let me tell you. I'll tell you this. This is the thing that I first of all, this is one of my favorite movies. I absolutely fucking love this movie. I watch it every year at this time just because it's seasonally appropriate. Got to get a viewing in on Beltaine. But I'll tell you what. Look, if the secret to delicious apples is just knocking off the occasional annoying Christian person, count me in. I want to move I want to move to Summerisle. I want to be a part of this crazy society. They got it all figured out.
The price is right.
It is. It's so low. They won't miss him. Nobody's going to miss this guy.
No, especially not this guy, because, oh my God, is he the worst.
Like right out the gate. Like they make no attempt. And I think this is a part of the genius of this script is what they're trying to do is essentially give you the impression that the same kind of outcome that I have, where I come out the other side of this movie where they have just fucked with this dude forever and then literally set him on fire in order to kill him to appease a fertility sun god. And I'm over here going, boy, I'd love to live there.
Yeah, burn the witch.
Yeah, I'm so into this place. They just, these people, they just want to grow delicious apples and like sing some songs and dance and maybe fuck in a field with your friends.
They get to do a lot of that.
A lot of fucking in this movie.
Yeah. I'd say apples are secondary to fucking.
Shit. Well, here we go. The year was 1973. The year of our Lord. So here were some other English horror movies released that year. The Creeping Flesh came out that year. I don't think I've seen it.
It's Peter Cushing?
I believe so. Well, here's the thing is between like 1957 and 1974, every British horror movie starred Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee.
Well, they are good.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's a good one. And now the screaming starts.
I don't care for that film.
It's silly. It's silly.
It's very silly. It's an Amicus film, I believe.
It's an Amicus film. It's one of their only I never really stopped to consider this. That is their only non-anthology horror movie.
No, The Beast Must Die.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So, but they mostly made anthology movies.
Which is weird.
Yeah. This one's directed by Roy Ward Baker. He also did a bunch of the Dracula movies for Hammer. It's Amicus. Features a crawling hand. Also in 73, Don't Look Now.
Oh.
Don't Look Now came out.
That is a fantastic movie.
It's a really good movie. Thematically, a little bit like this one, where it's somebody looking for somebody that they think is missing.
She's dead.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. He thinks that she's alive. They runs all over England looking for her. Him being Donald Sutherland.
Italy.
Is it Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a British film, but it is in Italy.
Oh, we've also got The Legend of Hell House came out that year.
That is a fucking terrible movie.
And lastly, for 1973, Psychomania, which is another
that's an interesting movie.
That's one that I love. Also, it's very, very funny. I would put that that would make a really great double bill with Dracula AD 1972 because both are very groovy horror movies.
Oh yeah, it's lots of swinging.
Yep. Undead motorcycle gang. Yep. They got the big like skull helmet thing going on. It's cool. It's very cool. So our cast and crew includes like a director named Robin Hardy.
Just never happened for this guy.
Well, I think that his experience making this movie was like, you know what? I think I'm good making movies. I'm going to go back to over here and make instructional films and commercials.
It sounds like a lot of that was him and not anybody else. Like I was reading about it and it sounds like the crew and the cast were sort of like, yeah, his contribution to this movie was minimal. And I guess he was kind of a jerk about it. And then like after he just sort of like stopped talking to everybody and like isolated himself. And so like everybody else is kind of going on to make more shit and they're still working together, off and on, but he just wouldn't.
Right. Cause like his partner in this endeavor, Anthony Shaffer, came up with like a sequel to the movie and he was like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. And then he made his own and it sucked.
I've never seen it. I read about it. It sounds terrible.
Yep.
There's a documentary.
I mean, it seems like maybe he's just not particularly talented.
Maybe because I think this movie is exceptionally well made. And I think that it is
also well made by people who are relatively early in their career, with the exception of like Christopher Lee, probably, and Harry Waxman, who was the DP on this. And everything I read, people basically like credited Waxman with the look and vibe of the movie. They were like, this is all him.
Yeah, because he was a guy that British Lion brought in, the company that basically secured all the funding for this. And yeah, it sounded like he wasn't too happy with that, but the movie comes out looking great.
Yeah.
There's a documentary out that I don't think it's streaming. Severin is releasing it. It's called Children of the Wicker Man, and it's about Robin Hardy, made by his sons, and that guy sounds like a fucking mess. So yeah, this is him in his first of only a few feature films, which is wild considering just how good this movie is. Hardy was a principal in a film production company that primarily produced advertisements and industrial shorts. The opportunity to move to features arose when Hardy's associate Anthony Shaffer met with Christopher Lee, who was positively finished with Dracula, but looking for new projects. He didn't direct a feature again until 1986 with the Giallo-adjacent film The Fantasist, and then a second time in 2011 directing the Wicker Man sequel-ish, The Wicker Tree, which is based on one of his own novels, a book called Cowboys for Christ.
Ooh.
Terrible title.
That doesn't sound like anything I want to read.
So when I read that, I read the title. I was like, well, that doesn't sound like something I'm interested in. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's a sequel to The Wicker Man. Still not terribly interested.
Nope.
Because it positions a pair of American evangelicals proselytizing in another Scottish community similar to Summerisle. Advertisements and written fiction seem to be where his bread and butter is. Because after this, like, he writes a bunch of novels.
So they all did like other shit. Like everybody who's involved in this movie, this was not the only thing they did. Like Anthony Shaffer he was like a stage director.
Yep.
And a screenplay. So he wrote Frenzy. He gets this basically off of Frenzy. And then after this, he goes on to write like all of the best Agatha Christie movies. Paul Giovanni, who wrote wrote some of the music, the songs in this. He was wasn't a musician. He was like another stage director, an actor occasionally, a screenwriter sometimes. Like they all were just sort of involved in the theater.
Yeah.
And like even the guy who wrote the book that this is kind of loosely based on, same deal.
Yeah,
he
it was like
he
he did that in the same way that like the writer for The Sentinel did it, where he wrote it and pitched it as a movie, and like Michael Winner originally was sort of positioned to be the director with...
Well, he wrote it for Michael Winner, and Michael Winner read it and was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
How can I sell this to anybody? And he was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And so the guy, I can't remember his name now, the guy who wrote the book. The book is called Ritual.
Pinner? I've got it written down here somewhere. David Pinner is the author of Rituals. And so,
so when Michael Winner like shot it down, his manager was like, all right, you know what, make it into a novel and I'll get it published. And he did.
And then it got turned into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he got there eventually.
Yep.
Our cast includes Edward Woodward.
Ooh.
Ostensibly best known for his role in the 1980s TV series for CBS, The Equalizer.
He was in a movie I watched recently called The Appointment. It was pretty good.
Oh, The Appointment's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very weird movie. 1980 something, 85 maybe?
It might be earlier than that. Yeah. It has a very early 80s feel to it.
It was for a long time. It was like a lost movie. Mm-hmm. And then I think BFI put it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's great. That's part of their Flipside series. It's really good.
Yeah. He's brought in after the lead role of Sergeant Howe. He was turned down both by Michael York and David Hemmings. I gotta tell you, I don't see either of those guys in this role. I definitely see Edward Woodward in this role. Like
I can see Michael York doing it maybe, but not David Hemming. And even Michael York's a bit of a stretch because he's so severe. Like he's a very serious looking. And
the thing that always gets me about Michael York is I can only ever see him in fucking Austin Powers now.
Or Cabaret.
Or Cabaret. But like with the fucking like turtleneck shirt and shit, like he's got such a like groovy like English 70s look about him. He just does not portray that. And also I recently watched Off Balance, in which he's a ninja.
Whew, so good.
It's pretty good. But I can't see, because this character of Sergeant Howie is so particularly severe and intense and stuffy and stuck up that I just don't see.
I think Michael York could have done that very well. I think the part that he would have not have been able to do very well is that the character Howie is supposed to be. He is all of those things, but he is also like almost immature and it's sort of like virginal in a very obvious way.
He's a 40-year-old virgin in this movie.
Yeah, and so Woodward really conveys this innocence, like the severity and the like a really hardcore doctrine that he is constantly spewing is almost, to compensate for his lack of experience in just about anything. And he conveys that so well because he kind of looks like an old baby.
He does. You know what it is? It's the hair. It's the haircut. Mm-hmm. The haircut is very much a young boy's haircut that he
They also put a lot of he has a lot of makeup on in this.
Okay.
I was watching the 4K and I was watching it in that, and the blush that they put on him, it's a little much. It's a little French whorish, but it is intended to make him look younger. It works.
They really rouged his cheeks.
Yeah, he's very heavily rouged.
Yeah, he's fucking fantastic. I think he's really, really good in this. Looking up, he's one of those actors who's just been like, who was busy right up until his death in 2009. Like he was acting.
Everybody in this goes on to be in tons of other shit. I mean, Britt Eklund maybe not quite so much, but everybody else has a very healthy career.
Yeah. Speaking of Britt Eklund, we got a Bond girl here, along with Christopher Lee in The Man with the Golden Gun. She's a Swedish actor who was a bit of an it girl in the 70s, appearing in and leaving quite an impression in the English gangster movie Get Carter with Michael Caine. That movie kind of fucking rules.
It does, and I hate Michael Caine.
Really? I love Michael Caine.
Can't stand him.
Shit, why?
I think he's a hacky actor. He plays the same fucking character in everything. No matter what he's doing, he's got like one speed.
I don't know.
That's all he ever does.
I think that he's one of those actors who sort of like reaches a point in his career where he realizes I can do this one thing and just kind of coasts on it. Kind of like what Al Pacino did that, De Niro did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just kind of hit a spot because there's a period where Michael Caine is just like fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean that movie is very good.
Yeah,
because it is action packed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's also in horror movies like Asylum, which is another Amicus anthology, all of Robert Bloch's stories, and the Agatha Christie adaptation Endless Night. She's terrible. I don't think I've seen that one.
It's not good.
She's photographed very deliberately in this movie as at the time of the production, she was visibly pregnant. Her nude scenes are conspicuously shot from behind as they used a body double and dubbed her heavily accented voice with both dialogue and singing with different actors. She was, until the release of the remake, quite bitter toward this movie and the filmmakers, since she, a Swedish woman, performed with a Scottish accent that she felt pretty good about, and they still had her dubbed. Her objection to the body double scenes, however, was that she felt that the woman they used had a big ass.
Which is, a remarkable thing to say.
She's like, that doesn't look like me. I have a nice ass.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of nice asses, Christopher Lee is also in this movie.
That's Sir Christopher Lee to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's the coolest dude who ever lived. Following his penultimate run as Dracula in Dracula 80, 1972, Christopher Lee was pretty much done with playing the vampire, though he still had one more to go in the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Both of those movies.
Oh, he will play a vampire like a million more times after that.
Jess Franco's Dracula after that, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, so he does the one in 1950.
Yeah, right. So that's 1957, I think, is the very first time he plays Dracula for Hammer.
And then he does that for Jess Franco, and then he's in a shitload of other movies, like Italian stuff where he just plays a vampire.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
Because that's like what they knew him for.
They wanted Christopher Lee, and they wanted him to play a vampire.
I don't know, man. You're not gonna get away. You just gotta.
I love that he pulls the Sid Caesar in Jess Franco's Dracula, where he's like, look, Jesus, I'm not shaving the mustache.
I would look stupid.
Yeah, he would look stupid. That's a good looking mustache on him.
Yeah. He looks positively unhinged in this movie.
Oh God, I think this is my favorite Christopher Lee look. This is also
I think
my
it's
favorite.
It's Christopher Lee's favorite Christopher Lee look and performance.
Yeah, he met with Wicker Man writer Anthony Shaffer, who had an idea for a radical new direction in horror and agreed to play the lead villain in what became his favorite role of his entire career. Lee was so invested in this movie that he paid out of pocket for 2 press tours of Europe and North America to promote the movie. He also did not get paid while the movie was filming.
This movie had a very difficult production, it sounds like.
I've got some notes on
it had
production.
a really rough rollout. Like this movie, it didn't make it to the United States until like 1980.
Yeah. Via Charles Band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fucking doing it for the kids.
Doing it for the kids, man. Prior to film, Lee was first to volunteer with the Finnish army during the Winter War against the invading Soviet Union. He was a hard man.
Yeah, it's like, you know who else was like that you would never expect? Vidal Sassoon.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Get up and shake your hair.
Just stand up and shake your hair.
Did he also garrote Nazis during the war?
He was a street fighter.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like part of the resistance.
That is amazing. Yeah. Because then after the Winter War was over, he's trained as a fucking spy hunter in a secret RAF counterintelligence program that up until his death he was forbidden to talk about. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't just like sussing them out in the way that
he was like actively hunting Nazis.
On the street murdering Nazis.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I believe he was a part
Where's
of that.
Christopher Lee when you need him?
I believe he was out there like with that what is it? The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is what they call it. They were basically like fucking murderers and saboteurs. Oh God, he is a hard guy. But in the 1950s, he gets together with Hammer for The Curse of Frankenstein as the monster. And then at 6'5" and having a gnarly deep voice, he was cast as Dracula in what is arguably his signature role. If you're younger than us, then you likely know him as the evil wizard Saruman from The Lord of the Rings. And if you're a real sicko, then you know him as the separatist Jedi Count Dooku in the Star Wars prequels. Our guy
you might also know him from Airport 77. Why he's a hero.
Hey,
except not really.
Hey, preview. Airport 77 coming up.
Yeah, it is. I fucking love that movie so much.
I bought it in anticipation of that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Our guy also sings and has a love of heavy metal, appearing on several records for the Italian symphonic power metal band Rhapsody of Fire, before featuring on 2 of his own symphonic metal records about the life and reign of Charlemagne, who he claimed to be related to on his mother's side. I have listened to one of them. It is fucking amazing. It's not good.
It's the kind of it's when you reach that point in your life and you're like, I can do whatever the hell I want. Yeah. And so I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm Dracula. I'm Saruman. I'm Count Dooku. I'm going to make a heavy metal record. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make 2 of them. And then I'm going to be on 9 from this Italian band that just loves me.
And he's also like, just seems like just a righteous dude.
He did, yeah. Fucking
an all right guy.
Seemed all right. He
really
is
good friends with Peter Cushing and Vincent Price.
Yeah, he is, without peer, one of the greatest actors in the history of horror, along with his frequent co-star Peter Cushing and our guy Vincent Price. Now, The Wicker Man is an awesome movie with an unbelievably troubled production history. In 1971, Anthony Shaffer and Robin Hardy put the pieces together with Christopher Lee to get the movie into production, taking inspiration, as we said, from the 1967 novel Ritual by David Pinner. Ritual itself began life as a treatment for a horror movie to be directed by Michael Winner, with John Hurt in the lead. That was the name I was forgetting. Yeah. Fell apart, ended up a novel. Found new life on the screen in the hands of Shaffer and Hardy. They secured funding from a production company called British Lion and got to work. The last
now
part,
here's my point of contention here.
Okay.
So they go into this. They buy the rights to this movie for a surprisingly little amount of money, if you ask me.
Something like £20,000.
Yeah, and so what's like the equivalent of like
it's like 200,000 today. Yeah.
And so they buy it, and they're like, it's new direction for horror, and it's like tut, boys. It's not a new direction for horror. You might think it is because you don't probably know that much about horror at the time, but there are movies before this. There's Witchfinder General is because this is the one that kicks off the kind of so-called folk horror
the folk
thing.
horror thing.
Blood on Satan's Claw.
Sure, but I think that this movie truly is like a very unique specimen in terms of horror, but not.
It's a mystery, you know. It's like it's just a mystery novel. You know?
But the thing is also it like.
And I like this movie a lot. I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying like it's not all that groundbreaking as stories go.
They're like, but again, I think the thing that really works, and I think that these are very deliberate storytelling decisions, is at no point are you hoping that Sergeant Howie gets away. Like, I don't know anybody who roots for this guy. There is
no, I think they maybe play it a little too hard.
And you are positively like charming bad guys are nothing new. They're all over the fucking place in horror
but
movies.
He's not the bad guy. He's just an asshole. Like he's a this policeman is bumbling in the dark. You might say.
He is. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Lord Summerisle.
Lord Summerisle.
Lord Summerisle is so charming. I want to be his best friend. I want to hang out with him and sing and drink mead while he plays piano in his luxurious manner.
And that's my other problem with the movie, is that it positions the community on Summerisle at first as like they're not primitive.
No,
they just believe in a sort of old religion that is kind of cobbled together.
The thing about them is they are recognizably like a Scottish community in 1973. Maybe shit's a little old fashioned, but I think in their time, contemporaneously, they were. That you would look at them and be like, oh, sure, I've been there. Like I was at that fucking place the other day. Like if you live in that area, like you probably recognize it as just like another sort of community in the UK, you know, maybe a little backwater, a little hickish. It's a little rural.
So they just believe this, you know, this sort of non-Christian belief system. And so, you know, here comes Sergeant Howie. He's a big dickhole about pushing Christianity on them. That's one of the reasons you really hate him. But what I don't like is that, so throughout pretty much the entire movie, we are led to understand that like they're not bad people. This is just their way of life, and they're all cool with it. It's the outsiders who come in, these sort of interlopers who are now a problem. But then it twists at the end, and they are reframed to be somewhat malevolent and menacing, and I don't like that part.
Okay.
Because it's like, well, now I'm not on board with you. Before it was like, yeah, you're just this is just the fuck. It's like, you know, cannibals in the jungles of Borneo in the 40s. Like, okay, that's just the way they live. They all understand those are the rules. Yeah. That's the deal. That's their structure, their, you know, system of living. This is like, it's that reveal that I don't like. I don't like it.
It's a big rug pull. I don't mind it. Because still, even as they're like swaying and singing gaily with like big smiles on their face as a man burns to death before them, I'm still with them. Like I'm still.
Oh no, I'm fine with it. I mean, just like structurally and narratively, I don't like it because it's like you have a good story and you have this really interesting, compelling point to make about like, you know, someone coming in and sort of like, you know, this kind of colonialist mindset.
I was going to say they probably were not thinking about that when they made the movie, but this is very much a look at colonialism from the colonized perspective.
Right. But then at the end, you're like, oh, well, now the colonized are actually kind of a little bit evil. And it's like, you sort of you've weakened your point at that, you know, by doing that. It's like, I don't want, that sort of sucks a little bit.
I don't know. I'm still like, you guys are
it's great.
You're so clever. You guys are so fucking clever. You had this, you played him like a fiddle.
Mm-hmm. And I think the one thing where it is interesting, not groundbreaking, but where it is interesting is that it goes really hard at Christianity in a way that must have been so unsettling for so many people.
In just a couple of years, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, The Quest for the Holy Grail will come out, and that movie got fucking banned in like Ireland. And
I'm surprised this one didn't.
Right. But I do think what it did have going for it that did sort of avoid that kind of moral panic status was the fact that the release was so thoroughly botched.
Yeah.
It might have been like because this movie.
What year did The Devils come out?
71? I want to say.
So again, there's so to be like, we want to make a horror movie that's, you know, a new take. And it's like, well, other people have already kind of done that.
Yeah.
But so The Devils is another one of those ones where it's like, oh my God, this makes Christianity look real fucking bad. Also based on a true story.
Based on a true story. But another thing that I think really kind of works in its favor toward that kind of like new paradigm in horror is most of this movie, like the vast bulk of this movie, takes place in the daytime in broad daylight. The color palette is all like primary colors and like lush greens and stuff like that. Like,
And they were making a movie at a time when horror had really kind of gone off the rails and was a little bit down on its luck, so to speak.
Just the year before, as much as I love it, the fucking premise of Dracula 80 1972 is fucking...
Stop it, it's my favorite one.
It's fucking preposterous.
I love that one.
So do I. I also love the satanic rites of Dracula.
Yep.
They get funding through British Lion. They get to work. The last part turned out to be a piece of the puzzle that never fully fit and doomed the movie to cult status. Focusing on the notion of sacrifice and taking the broad strokes of the source material as a foundation of the movie, Shaffer sourced the specifics from Roman records of the Gallic people in France, who certainly performed ritual sacrifice on animals and produce during fertility and harvest rituals, but very likely did not perform acts of human sacrifice. This record was introduced during the Roman Gallic Wars in the first century, had a vested interest in portraying the enemies of Imperial Rome under Julius Caesar as savage barbarians. Shaffer also sourced the traditions of Summerisle from the 1890 comparative religion study The Golden Bough by James Fraser, which speculates that most of the pre-Christian religions of regions around the United Kingdom were fertility cults that engaged
real heavy emphasis on the speculation part of that. The Golden Bough is like 90% bullshit.
It's the Hollywood Babylon of pre-Christian
Pretty
Europe.
much, yeah. It may as well have been written by Charles Fort.
He's not entirely wrong. But yeah, a lot of it was like not gathered from fucking like on the ground, like evidence and shit.
And whenever people would write stuff like that at the time, and it was almost always men who would do it. It's like, you are woefully misunderstanding the thing that you're writing about.
Yeah. In his book, he speculated that these cults engaged in ritual human sacrifice of the day. It's a fucking awesome, like heavy metal concept that he comes up with. So the human sacrifice is the sort of ritual slaying of the dying king by the incoming new king. And among those legends were those where the reigning king would...
Is the king in yellow, I believe?
No, the king in yellow is a made-up thing from...
It's based on that book. It's pulled from True, what's it called?
Hmm?
What's the thing called? The King in Yellow is from...
The King in Yellow is a sort of an adjacent part of the Cthulhu mythos. And there is no story of the King in Yellow. There's in True Detective. That's what yeah.
There is the King in Yellow, and it's based on the story that you're about to tell from The Golden Bough.
Okay, yeah. They would among those legends were those where the reigning king would abdicate the throne for a day on important calendar days to a fool who would be lavished with luxury and privilege and then sacrificed as the king at the end of the day. You might say king for a day, fool for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yep. They brought in Hammer, regular Ingrid Pitt, who then had an affair with British Lion producer Peter Snell during production. And when her husband found out, the head of booking for the Rank organization, a company which managed theatrical bookings in the UK, blackballed the movie upon release.
Whoops!
Which absolutely fucked this movie over at the time.
Lady, you could have had an affair with anybody.
You could have had an affair with Christopher Lee.
And you chose the exact wrong person to do it with.
Jesus Christ, I know. This movie is horny as hell. Turns out the cast and crew were as well.
Well, hey. Saucy material.
Just got him all randy.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was just one of many setbacks to come. To further complicate matters, British Lion, being in terrible financial trouble at the time, had to rush the movie into production in order to convince film unions that they weren't about to just gut the company and sell off the parts. The movie went into production well ahead of the plan to shoot in the spring. A movie set during the year as Summerisle is planting the year's crops suddenly went into production during a time when the crop would be harvested, so they had to dress every outdoor setup with fresh green leaves and blossoms glued to the local foliage. Which sounds like such a fucking hassle. It does.
Look, how are you going to make those corn rigs and barley rigs look bon? You got to glue some greenery to them.
You got to fake it till you make it. And they do.
Mm-hmm.
They do. The movie also features a good deal of nudity, and the great outdoors during this time suffered from the same sort of production setbacks as, say, Friday the 13th Part 4, where everybody is either straight up nude or undressed at a time of year and in a place where it is really fucking cold.
Yeah.
And
that's like, if you're on an island in Scotland, it is like a damp
and
cold.
this isn't just like Scotland. This is the fucking Highlands. So you're like way the fuck up there. And so, yeah, resulted in predictable production setbacks and a miserable cast and crew. Apparently, the production company had to officially apologize to this community because Britt Ekland was like talking to all the tabloid press, telling them that she's in like the most miserable place on earth. And they were all like, hey.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we thought we were being super nice to you.
We thought that
by letting you come here.
With our Bonnie rigs and barley rigs. And
apparently you don't appreciate Bonnie corn rigs. Cool.
Yeah. What's more, British Lion was bought by EMI, who were contractually obligated to release the movie, but absolutely fucking hated it, particularly the ending.
The best part.
The producer at the company said, this is one of the 10 worst movies I've ever seen.
So they hated it so much, the ending. So it was particularly the ending.
Talk about the ending, because this is one of the most upset. I'm so fucking glad that this did not happen.
So we've already spoiled at the end of the movie, Howie gets put into the Wicker Man and set on fire and killed. It is a righteous ending. But when the dudes from EMI saw it, they were like, oh no, you cannot do that. You have to let this guy, he has to live. And they were like, so how's about this? Here's an idea. How about this, guys from the Wicker Man? What if a big rainstorm just happens to start right after they light the thing on fire, puts out the fire, and saves Howie's life? And Robin Hardy was like,
how about no?
Yeah, he's like, hey, that's a really fucking stupid idea. The answer is no. Hard no. Absolutely not. And this is a perfect example of how the interference of dumb executives from outside of the industry who don't know anything,
because these executives
sink a movie completely.
These executives weren't even a part of the product, from
EMI,
the beginning. They came in.
EMI is also a music company.
Yeah. Oh, notably fucking terrible. Like, so much, in fact, that the fucking Sex Pistols wrote a song about how much they suck.
Yeah, like they didn't know, like, and this happened in the 80s in the US as well, when a bunch of corporations came in and bought up all of the studios and like installed their executives into the company who knew fuck all about movies, but thought they did because they were men in the 80s. And so that, like, this is how you can just almost blow a really good movie, by being like, oh, how about we fix it this way? And it's like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How dare you?
Yeah. But I will say this, because they did meddle in the release of the movie in terms of like the edited cut of the movie that was eventually released. I have seen the so-called final cut of the movie. That's like,
there's like 8,000 different cuts of this.
It's the one that we watched on Friday night in the Discord. We watched but entirely by accident. I did not know that this was gonna be the version, but it was the one that was essentially a conglomeration of all of the available footage of this into one movie. And so some of it's like a telecine transferred, some of it's just taken from a fucking videotape, and some of it's
so if you have the latest release from Studio Canal, it actually looks pretty good.
I was going to say, because I believe it started with the Studio Canal logo, so we probably watched that version. But I have watched, and this is apparently Robin Hardy's like preferred version. It was the closest, because eventually the footage gets lost, all the materials are gone. He's unable to sort of like do it during the sort of like director's cut craze. He's unable to sort of release a version of it that he approved of, and so he did the best with the materials that were available. And it's
sounds
a longer
like we should
movie.
see the Waxman cut instead.
And I'm going to say, I think the short version, like the 88-minute version of this, is fucking fantastic.
Well, because you don't get much else in that. You get a lot more scenery. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more fucking singing of the same songs over and over again.
There's a lot more Sergeant Howie at the very beginning. Essentially, it's all of this stuff that one of the things that we sort of as a group kind of remarked upon watching it was all of that additional stuff just added nothing to the story. Like, those of us who were watching this, having seen the sort of like 88-minute version of this, we felt like it just kind of bloated it a little bit. Like, cause the very beginning is a lot of him like at work and him at church. And it turns out that all of his coworkers fucking hate him too.
Yeah. And I don't think you really need, like, as hard as they go at Howie in this movie to make him so thoroughly unlikable, you know, you don't need that backstory. You can sort of understand why he clings so hard to his authority and to religion, because he's such a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Like that is inferred pretty heavily. And I think he does a very good job conveying that as an actor, that you don't need all
You
that
don't need it
additional
whatsoever. It's implied very well. You know, the storytelling in that sort of shortened kind of a version that he considers quite abrupt, I feel like it covers it very, very well. It's tight. You know, it's very economical. By the end of the movie, like, there's nothing else about this story that I really feel like I need to know. There's like a little bit more Lord Summerisle in it, but like,
I mean, I would always welcome more Christopher Lee, but I don't think you need it.
You don't have, you definitely don't need it. I certainly,
because it's also just him being crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, I think a part of it actually ended up in sort of like my personal breakdown as a scene that I couldn't remember if it's in the theatrical version or not, but I'll point it out when we get there. So upon release, the movie was cut down to a lean 87 minutes, removing 20 minutes of footage intended to make the theatrical cut by Robin Hardy, and then, suffering from EMI's total lack of enthusiasm for it and the Rank organization's unwillingness to book it as a single feature, saw the movie featured as a B picture in the UK double feature with Don't Look Now. As a result, it absolutely tanked in its initial theatrical run. Only 100.
So you'd have to like show up and sit through this to then see Don't Look Now.
No, you would see Don't Look Now first, and then you would see this.
Oh, after Don't Look Now, you just go home.
You're just going to leave. Because it's a pretty heavy movie.
It is also a very sexy film. Like, you're like, hey, I got all that I needed in this movie.
Boy, do you not. Boy, you have no idea. This movie is pretty sexy. So there's a 100-minute cut that was sent to Roger Corman with hopes of AIP securing international distribution. He suggested 13 minutes of cuts.
Of course, AIP in 1973 was a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
So it's not like you would have fared any better there.
No, he suggested 13 minutes of cuts and passed on the distro. And with all the shuffling around in the movie industry's general apathy toward archiving film materials, which I find baffling.
I mean, it costs a lot of money.
They got to keep it. You got to store it a certain way.
It takes up a ton of space.
You can't just, you know, if you store it improperly, you get vinegar syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or it's also it is a fire hazard at a certain point because of
by this point the nitrate was well gone.
But like, it's just I get it. I think it sucks that they didn't save a lot of this stuff, but I think it does. It is an unintended kind of bonus though, that you do get those like exciting moments when it's like, hey, someone found this pristine copy of,
for instance,
blah blah blah,
this movie. So he thought that the original materials were lost forever, which denied Robin Hardy a chance to ever make a proper director's cut. However, the 92-minute cut of the movie was discovered in Harvard's film archive in 2013, which was used as the basis for his final cut, which actually runs a minute shorter than the source material cut. The movie
fancy archive.
I would love to go there.
You can.
Can you?
Well, you'd have to make an appointment. I've been in there.
But like, you got to have like they don't just let anybody fuck any jabroni coming off the street, right?
I mean, you have to have a reason. But
mine would be to just poke around and see what's in there.
Oh no, you can't poke around. You're not allowed to touch stuff. No, they would bring it to you.
They would be like, oh no, you can't do that.
Yeah, you have to know what it is you want and why, and then they will bring it to you to look at. And then you will say, I am done, sir and or ma'am. Thank you very much.
I would imagine it's like, have you ever been to the special collection at Brattle Street Bookstore?
No.
I went there.
Wait, yes. I went upstairs?
The top floor, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I went there because I had heard that they had some first edition pressings of Aleister Crowley's Equinox. And they let me you can just show up. But
yeah, I mean, that's a bookstore. That's very different from a like formal archive.
I don't know the way they keep that special collection, but like I had to wear gloves and a person had to watch me leaf through it.
Yep.
It was very, because I'm like
that
reading.
Is pretty standard, actually.
And every now and then I'd look up and I'd be like, yep, he's still there. Still staring at me.
Mm-hmm. Which, what a boring job that must be.
I know. So the movie languished into obscurity as a piece of pure cult until 1988, when the late-night British TV movie program Moviedrome set out to spotlight cult movies and included The Wicker Man in its programming, introducing it to a new generation of viewers for the first time on television and formally setting it free to the broader world. Like, this was the first time that The Wicker Man kind of caught fire as a cult movie sensation. Prior to that, it was super.
Pin in that for the reviews.
The music for the movie is composed, as we said, by Paul Giovanni?
Paul Giovanni, yeah.
Yeah. But the instrumentation and vocal parts sourced from actual folk music was performed by a guy named Gary Carpenter, who you see with his band Magnet, which was assembled just for this movie, in the pub whenever a song is being performed. The music being so memorable resulted in special engagements in England starting in 2009, which invites attendees to drop in and sing along.
And Paul Giovanni was Shaffer's brother's boyfriend. So how do you think he got the job?
Because he's related?
No, he is Shaffer's brother. It's his boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Oh, at the time, I don't think they still are. I mean, I think they're both dead.
And for the record, a corn rig is a raised garden ridge where the crop grows.
Mm-hmm. Bonnie.
It's Bonnie. Yeah. What else are you going to call it? It's Bonnie.
It's great.
I'm sure that I've never actually seen a corn rig, but I'm sure that if I saw it, I'd look at it and go, it's Bonnie.
It's like, it's a really nice corn rig.
It's Bonnie.
Hey, you got any barley rigs
show
on
me
here?
some barley rigs now. Also Bonnie. You guys really got this shit on lock.
Fairly well assembled.
Rod Stewart, dating Britt Eklund at the time of the film's release, was so outraged that she appears topless in the movie that he launched an unsuccessful campaign to have the movie banned.
Hey, listen, Rod Stewart, fuck you.
Shit, Rod Stewart.
Fuck Rod
for
this
Stewart.
And so many other reasons. Fuck you.
Do you think I'm sexy? That shit can fuck out of here.
That awful Tom Waits cover you did. Get out of here.
Fucking
fuck off.
Downtown Train. Get that shit out of here. Get all that American Songbook stuff. Fuck you. I also hate the faces.
Yeah.
Eat shit, Rod Stewart.
That's lame. It's also like it's ironic, I guess, in the context of the movie, which is a fairly feminist film. Fairly feminist. It is sort of ironic that but it's like grossly masculine in that very 70s way of like, you can't look at my lady. And it's like, well, first of all, she's an adult and a professional actor, so shut your fucking mouth. But like, to be like, it's like when fathers are like, no one will date my daughter. And it's like, why? So you can?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It turns out that is the impression that they want
I know,
to
it's
leave.
so gross. But it's that idea of like, I will take care of this. And it's like, all you're doing is like being super condescending.
Yeah. And you're making it so that I can never enjoy your music. Not that I ever would, Rod Stewart. Your music fucking sucks.
No, it's really awful.
God damn it, Rod Stewart. Anyways, this was sequelized by Hardy with his own story. The aforementioned movie, I don't think we said it. We said it was called. It's called Cowboys for Christ was the book. The movie that he adapted from is called The Wicker Tree. I'd never even heard of it until I did
the Halloween tree, yeah. Way to steal a title.
The Giving Tree. He intended for it to be a trilogy with a movie called The Wrath of the Gods that he attempted to fund through crowdfunding platforms. Hardy unfortunately died before he could put it into production. Shaffer,
and nobody wanted it. So the Shaffer one was based on he had called it The Loathsome Lambton Worm.
Yeah, which is about the same myth which Ken Russell used in Lair of the White Worm,
which is a great title.
The Loathsome Lambton Worm. Yeah, and lastly, there's a roller coaster at Alton Towers Resort in the middle of England, inspired by this movie.
Here's a fun terrible fact though that I've got before we switch topics here. Apparently, obviously the Wicker Man itself was gone not long after the movie.
Yeah, they set it on fire.
Yeah, the stumps were still there that they use as the legs.
Oh shit!
And people would go there, like it's like a pilgrimage for enthusiasts of the movie.
No, that's something I'd do that.
And in 2006, someone stole them.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, way to ruin it for everyone.
Decided only I can enjoy these stumps.
And also, what do you do with out of context? What do you do with them?
They're just sitting there rotting in somebody's fucking.
Yeah, now they're just tree stumps
in somebody's car boot. Is that what they call?
I mean, they're probably too big for that.
Or wait, no, I'm thinking of the garage. What do you call the garage? A car hole?
It's an illegal jeans operation.
So where'd the press land on this movie?
Well, it depends on who you ask. A lot of people did not like this. They thought it was silly.
Okay. Those people,
they're
wrong. They're very wrong, but okay.
Well, one of them is Janet Maslin.
Janet Maslin. God damn it, Janet.
Of the Old Gray Lady fame.
Okay.
She goes, I'm going to try to be nice about The Wicker Man because it seems to have been made in all seriousness.
Oh, no.
Anthony Shaffer did not intend it as a comedy, nor did Robin Hardy, who directed it.
Well, maybe he did, though, because there is a bit of silliness to this movie.
But the song lyrics, which are perfectly hilarious, are the best thing the movie has to offer.
Corn, eggs, and barley.
Yeah. Kevin Thomas, the LA Times.
All right, Kevin.
The Wicker Man is a witty work of the macabre.
Yeah, it is.
Written by Anthony Shaffer. There's a certain initial awkwardness to Robin Hardy's direction that in its disarming way serves only to set up all the better the picture's stunning finish. The Wicker Man is scary indeed, and yet the world it takes us into, that has been so painstakingly researched by Shaffer, is at least treated with the kind of respect that allows the film to end on a note of genuine ambiguity.
I love Kevin Thomas's reviews. I feel like he and I like really kind of align on a lot of topics.
He's thoughtful. He can be very puritanical sometimes, which is weird.
Yeah.
The Boston Globe. Bruce McCabe. Bruce McCabe. So this is, I will tell you right now, this is the most effusive film review I have ever read in my life.
Okay.
The Wicker Man is pure, brilliant, spine-tingling fun. It's the most inspired mystery I've seen in ages. A knockout. Oh. It's one of the few mysteries that refuses to ask you to leave your wits at the box office. It compels your curiosity to the very end. It's intriguing, suspenseful, and thought-provoking. It's literate, witty, ironic, and sophisticated.
Oh my God, you would think...
It's an absolute gem of a film.
You would think Sheila Benson wrote that.
And he keeps going. That's just how much he fucking loves it.
So enthusiastic. I love that shit.
Here's a reviewer who did not love it. This is the day. Nope, not there yet. Don't worry, that reviewer hated it too.
Okay.
This is Ernest Legrand of the New York Daily News. The news. Light emphasis.
Stop calling the National Enquirer the news. Or the Weekly World News the news.
Some movies are so dumb they're funny. Like The Wicker Man.
Shut up.
Shaffer's story seems thematically geared to a warning that if you try to deny nature, you do it at your own peril. Whatever his motive, he's created a particularly cruel ending for a movie that is uncomfortable. Is an uncomfortable contrast with the implausibly laughable intrigue that's transpired up to then. I feel like Ernest Legrand is maybe telling on himself a little bit.
A little bit, because honestly, he got to the end and was like, hey, the good guy's not supposed to die.
Why didn't those heathens welcome him and his word?
Why aren't they listening to other sides? Are they living in a bubble?
Maybe if they did their own research, they'd understand the truth.
Just got to give them a chance. You got to hear out both sides.
And finally, the IMDb. That great critical eye in the sky.
The true voice of the people.
And I quote, "Maybe it is a cult classic, but that does not stop the movie from sucking horribly. I didn't know what to expect from this movie. I was told, hey, this is a messed up movie."
Not really.
With that tidbit of information, I sat down to watch it. The end result was that I was so angry that I just watched that movie. I am not sure if it was all of the terrible musical numbers or the fact that I cannot stand wimps and losers. But somewhere along this mess of a movie, I was finding myself searching for something to end my life with. Another thing, why don't the cops carry guns? I feel like every review should end on a non sequitur.
Fucking idiot. I love he is God's perfect moron. Just putting it all out there. Like, I heard this movie was messed up. Well, you fucking heard it wrong. Unless your friend is Scott Chase, who once told me that Happiness was like one of the funniest movies he ever saw. Scott, I love you, but what the hell, man?
Like I think he was being an edgelord, as the kids say. Yeah, no,
I guarantee like this person's idea of like the perfect horror movie is like Slaughtered Vomit Dolls or like August Underground or some of that real dumb extreme bullshit.
Oh, I was gonna go with like the Haunted Bong.
He just loves Ginger Dead Man.
Yep, Gary Busey. Yeah, at first I was like, this sounds like something Joe Rogan wrote. Why don't the cops carry guns?
Because it's England, you fucking moron.
Yeah, they don't do that.
They don't do that there. I mean, they got them, but they don't just carry them around.
Yeah, they're in the armory where they belong.
At the constabulary, you fool.
That's right. I love the word constabulary.
Oh, God, they used it several times in this.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to dive into this movie right after these messages. All right, so you ready?
Corn rigs and barley rigs.
Corn rigs are bunny.
So my version opened with a note about how this movie reflects out-of-date opinions, etc., etc. What out-of-date opinions?
I've seen several different like text cards before this. Like mine says Sunday, April 29th. And then the one that we watched Friday night thanked the residents of Summerisle for their cooperation.
So I have that one as well. So I watched the theatrical cut in the Studio Canal collection.
Yeah.
And so obviously it opens with the thing about how Studio Canal they spent like over 500 hours restoring this movie.
Beautiful. That's a fucking dedication. Canal Plus, I love you.
They do a hell of a job.
Yeah, they do.
On everything.
Because they care. Because they care.
Yeah, they do. And you know what? They invest in genre film.
They do.
And I appreciate that.
I love it.
So then it goes on to say, the note about how the movie reflects out-of-date opinions. And I was like, what opinions in this are out of date?
That you should kill Christians and to influence the harvest?
I disagree.
I don't think that. I think that's evergreen.
Yeah. So then we go into the next text on screen card about thanking Lord Summerisle and the people of the island, which I think is fun.
Which I love. It's
a fun little.
It's a goof. They're having a good time. It's for them.
Yeah. They're like, oh, it's a true story, everybody.
So Sergeant Howie, a real stuffy Christian dude of good standing, here he is in church, just singing loudly and proudly for the Lord. And now he's giving the reading to the congregation as they're about to take Eucharist. And I'll tell you what, I'm so glad that they place it in his hand and then he places it in his mouth. Because when they did that shit in Alice, Sweet Alice, where they just put it on your tongue, gross.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking gross. Don't do that.
No.
No. Cut to a seaplane. Sergeant Howie is at the controls, flying across scenic Scotland while a woman sings a pleasant folk song.
'Twas upon a llama's night, when corn rigs are bonny, beneath the moon's unclouded light, I held a while to Annie.
Oh, you gotta sing it. Sing it.
I can't remember the tune now. That's the problem.
Corn rigs are bonny. And then a dude pops in to sing a jaunty folk song about how corn rigs and barley rigs are bonny.
Yeah, listen, it's some serious like Fairport Convention type bullshit, and I was so into it.
I fucking love it because like there are modern like stoner psych bands that do that. Like usually they've got a person who like in the band who only plays flute, and then they tune it down to C, and then they sing songs about the harvest.
It's amazing,
fucking amazing. Yeah, but anyways, they're bonny. Sergeant Howie lands his plane in the harbor of Summerisle.
And just opens right as soon as he opens that door. He just a total cunt.
They're setting the pace.
I love the thing. He opens the door. He's like, "Hey, send the dinghy," and they're like, "No, you must be lost." Like they cannot imagine why someone would be there.
The thing about this scene that I love so much, and this is one of the sort of characteristics of Summerisle that I think is so fucking funny and so alluring, is these guys fuck with him the moment they see him. And as they're doing it, like the guys behind the harbor master are like smiling and trying to like cover up the fact that they are totally amused.
And it's he is so awful. He's an insufferable asshole from the very moment he arrives on this island. He's awkward, he's condescending, he's just super rude, and he never seems to understand that they're kind of fucking with him.
Yep.
Which is a little bit of a shame.
Yeah. He pops out, shouts to the harbor master to send over a boat. Then immediately...
It's like gentle ribbing more than anything else. Like, they're not being mean.
No, they just bust
a little bit later they kind of are.
Bust his chops. And then later on, they're going to actually murder him. And I think that's mean, but...
But also because he is such an asshole to them. And I think maybe that's one of my other issues is how hard this character goes. Is like, there is no context in which this behavior would be acceptable. Like, I think you're supposed to be like, well, he's out of his element, sort of fish out of water on this island type of thing. But it's like, well, it doesn't matter where he is. This would not be tolerated by anybody anywhere. Like, he would lose his job for behaving this way.
They would get him halfway across the harbor and just dump him out the boat.
Yeah, like it's a little too cartoonishly awful.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they won't bring him in because he's on private property, you see. And then Howie sets them right. He's here on business of the law. A girl.
That's right. He says, I, as you can see, am a police officer. And then he points to his jacket. It's like, oh, Jesus.
A girl has apparently gone missing from this town, and he's here to check it out. So kindly send a boat over, you idiots. The entire town has taken notice of his arrival, what with the airplane and all the yelling. They bring him in, and he shows them a photo of one Rowan Morrison, a resident of...
They pass it. They may as well just like fling it in front of each other's faces because they're like, nope, never seen her.
Right. And all the dudes look it over, and not one of them recognizes her. So Howie reads a letter from someone on the island who informs him that Rowan is the daughter of Mae Morrison and that she's been missing for many months. And upon hearing their name...
They're like, Mae Morrison. There's the disconnect. All right.
Yep.
We definitely know her.
Yeah. She keeps the post office up the hill a ways. So as Howie heads off to check it out, they shout behind him. That's not Mae Morrison's daughter, though. So
no, they're all just like, but that's not her. We don't know who she is.
So he heads to Mae's shop, a candy shop packed with magnificent chocolate hairs. Not
I was
rabbits.
going to say, that candy is just gross as hell.
You know what it looks like? It looks like food on the original series of Star Trek, where it was just like primary colored blobs.
Yeah, but that giant naked lady cake, positively fuckable.
Go ahead, put your penis in there. So he asks if she has a daughter, and she says that she does. But when he shows her the photo, she tells her that this is not her daughter. Her daughter is in the back room painting a picture of the March Hare. So Howie sits with her and paints and asks about Rowan, and she tells him that she's a hare who plays out in the field. And he's like, I
love that she's like, hey, why don't you paint with me? And she hands him the brush first. Like, even this little girl is clowning on Howie because he's such a powerful douche.
Yep. So he heads over to the Green Man Inn as night falls and finds it teeming with the locals all singing and drinking.
And it's like the scene from where they enter in the slaughtered lamb in American Werewolf. Like, everything comes to a screeching halt.
There may as well be a record scratch.
Mm-hmm.
The place goes silent when he enters. He inquires about a room for the night and something to eat. The innkeeper tells him that his daughter Willow will show him to his room. And as she enters, a beautiful young woman played by Britt Eklund, the place goes fucking insane. Like, they've never seen a young woman as beautiful as this. These guys may as well have their eyes popping out of their heads and their tongues rolling out across the floor. Somebody may as well turn into a wolf and go awooga. Mm-hmm. It's like that.
Yeah. And then the whole bar just pipes up, hooting and hollering and sexually harassing her to song.
Hey, listen,
it's a real whimsical place.
She looks like she's having a good time herself there. So
she joins in,
hey, you know, if this be what it be and you're enjoying yourself, okay.
Have at it.
No. So the band fires up. They sing a song about how horny she makes them all. It's a big body coordinated affair, which bothers Howie, who has no such time for sinful affairs.
Yeah, like one guy makes this awful gesture with his arm that looks like a boner. Just genuine class.
Alec,
why do they all know the words to this song about fucking the innkeeper's daughter?
Apparently, they sing it enough that everybody knows the words. Or
I feel like that's weird.
Or they're just that fucking good at improv.
I like to think it's that.
So he silences the room and spoils the fun by asking about Rowan again. We see photos of the Summerisle Harvest Festival and its crop, apples, along with a woman designated to be the May Queen for that year. And he sits off to the side and eats his dinner, which is a nasty affair sourced from canned vegetables and the grayest beef you've ever seen. He was expecting a real feast. Summerisle, after all, is known for its magnificent produce, and yet he eats this. Again, they're fucking with them.
Well, no, because she does say, well, no, we ship it all out of here.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have that here.
Well, the thing
is
they keep, well, she's just putting off the fact that the crop failed last year.
Yes.
Because we don't know
so
that.
Because then he's like, well, I would like an apple. And she's like, well, we don't have any apples.
And he's like, you fucking
"We've
kidding
got-"
me? That's like their entire personality here.
And then he just started, like, he's like bitching about everything. Like, the food's not good. And then he's like, she's like, get the canned peaches and cream and shut the fuck up, man. But no, he just keeps yammering on. It's like, why are you such a rude asshole to everybody?
Yeah. My God. So Willow comes along to check on him, is rather flirty with him, but informs him that he'll be having no apples, which I guess he was looking forward to. Again, Summerisle, rather big deal when it comes to its apple harvest, but no apples. Howie goes out for a walk by night, comes upon a field of people just fucking and sucking out in the open.
And this is a bit of an odd moment because it's slowed down.
It's slowed down. I don't remember it being slow-mo like this.
Yeah, it's like, but it's also a little bit stilted at certain times. Like, it's a very weird choice.
It's a weird
because they never do this again in the movie.
No. Finds people in the nearby cemetery watering the graves. There's a nude woman sobbing over a gravestone. He angrily charges back in to the inn, finding the place partying down. He goes to
he pushes, as soon as he walks through the door, he pushes some guy out of the way.
Shoves him aside.
Yeah.
Just
like, it's not just that, like, Howie sucks in general. It's not just because he's like a Christian lunatic that makes him awful. It's that he's so thoroughly unhumorous. Like, he's no sense of humor to him at all.
None whatsoever.
He's the worst.
Yeah. And he's one of these guys who'd be like, but you're not following the rules.
Right. It's like, they're just trying to party.
They just want to have a good time, man.
They want to sing about having sex with the innkeeper's daughter.
They want to fuck out in a field.
They want to talk about corn rigs and barley rigs, which they are very proud of.
Well, look, if they were as bonny as I hear, I'd be pretty proud of them myself.
And I'm surprised, like, so he storms upstairs and goes up to his room.
And
I'm surprised they didn't, like,
about all these heathens.
I'm surprised they didn't put him in, like, footy pajamas or, like, a snowsuit to go to bed. He's got to protect his chastity.
They'd give him one of those, like, they'd give him pajamas with one of those hats that's, like, really long.
Yeah, he's dressed like Fred Mertz to go to bed.
I mean, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, very tempting. He's going to have one of the most beautiful women in film pounding on his wall and asking to come.
Come say how do.
Say how do you do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So the band down in the inn plays a soft piece in the bar. So this is a scene that I'm not sure if it's in the original cut or not.
Oh yes, it is.
Okay, they play a soft piece down in the bar as Lord Summerisle presents a young man to Willow at her window as the entire bar sings. He calls her.
Oh wait, no, this is not in the original.
That's what I thought, because the footage quality in this scene is a little lower. It's a little darker. It's the first time you see Lord Summerisle.
Yeah, this is not, because she does like she sort of does that on her own. She's pounding on the wall and like.
Yeah, because so that song is later on. That's before they're going to kill him. So yeah.
Wait, which one?
The song How Do, or Willow's song, that's later on when she's tapping on the wall to him.
So whatever version you watched is not the one that I watched.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, because that's what happens in this moment.
Oh, okay. So in my version, that came way later.
So this is the theatrical cut that I was watching.
All right.
Like the original theatrical cut, and this is where it is, and she's tapping on the wall, and she's expert ass slapping that she's rhythmically.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's Willow's song. In my version, that comes a little later. In this version, the band performs a song called Gently Johnny. It's just a very quiet little piece as as Lord Summerisle presents a young man to Willow for deflowering, if you will. And then they all listen to the two of them fuck while they sing this song. Yep.
Look, I'm not judging anybody here. These people do seem a little pathologically obsessed with sex. Like, what else are you guys?
Oh shit!
Any hobbies?
Oh god, no. These people are full on weirdo occultists. It's a topic I know a tremendous amount about. All of these people obsessed with penises.
Yeah, this is like
Aleister Crowley, it was his entire personality.
Like, do you read books? Or
Of course they read books about penises.
I know. God, they are just. I mean, do you teach math in school too, or is it just about phallic symbols?
Oh, they only teach about the numbers which are phallic and ionic, which is all of them.
That's true.
Yeah. So, in the morning, they raise the maypole before an ecstatic crowd of kids. Howie asks Willow how to get to the school. Then he comes upon the maypole and a dude singing yet again. The first time I saw this movie, I was like, this movie's a fucking musical?
So apparently, like, they got halfway through filming it, and they were like, he was like, hey, we're kind of making it a musical now. And everyone was like, okay.
I don't not like it. I love it. I love that quality of this movie. Then again,
It's a little bit odd.
I love a musical. Well known.
But it's like, it's kind of like what they do with Sinners, where it's like, it's not quite a musical because the music is there to sort of like supplement the film.
I mean, it's not without merit. It's just like in the scenes in the end where everybody's singing, it's just what they do there. In this part, this is how he teaches them about the maypole, is through this very explicit song about fucking and penises.
Yeah, I mean, and the maypole dance makes their brand of witchcraft look positively silly.
Looks like fun to me, man. Mm-hmm. So it's really a song about fertility with a lot of barely concealed metaphor, if you know what I mean. The kids perform a perfect reel around the maypole, wrapping it in white and red ribbon. Howie comes to the school where the teacher, Miss Rose, is asking the class what the maypole represents. It's a phallic symbol, of course, a penis. Howie walks in like, what the fuck are you doing, lady?
And again, this is perfect evidence of his assholery. Yeah. He walks in and she just erases the stuff on the board and he writes the name that he could have very easily just spoken and they would have understood him. Like, that's their shit, man. You don't just go in and fucking storm in and
it's notes on the ritual that he deliberately destroys in order to to do his thing. Yeah, he's shocked what he's seeing in this town, and of course, it all stems from the school, classic woke indoctrination.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is gender ideology, is what this is.
This is CRT and DEI. Mm-mm. He addresses the girls in the class. He's looking for Rowan and wants to know if any of them know her. And then he erases the lesson on the board to write her name down. And the girls all deny knowing her, and Miss Rives is like, okay, you can get the fuck out now. But Howie notices an empty desk. He lifts the table, finding just a beetle tied to a nail, just going around and around and around.
And it's this movie is not much of a horror movie, really. It has moments, and this is one of the moments because he looks at the little girl and she
let's put little girl in quotes because that part's very funny to me.
But she's like, I don't remember what she tells us. She just explains what it is.
Yeah.
And she just has this weird look on her face that she's like gleeful about it.
Yeah. She's like, it just goes round and round. Isn't that funny? And he's like, what the fuck is funny about that? And the smile just disappears from her face. Mm-hmm. These girls.
Well, yeah, then he calls them all a bunch of despicable liars.
The girls are all supposed to be 12 years old. However, the girl that Howie talks to about the beetle was 21 years old, as if you couldn't tell. It's like, look, it takes more than just putting a woman's hair into pigtails to make her look younger. Yep. So he demands to see the school Rose. Miss Rose weakly resists, but he casually tosses her aside and lifts her tiny desk away like a fucking pig. What's this? Rowan Morrison is in the attendance roster, and what's more, her address is the post office, indicating that not only did this class lie to him, her own mother lied to him for some reason.
And this is also where I think she's like, they kind of get into an argument a little.
Oh yeah. She's like, hey, can I talk to you outside for a minute?
Yeah, and she basically is just like, look, this is just our thing, man. Like, and she's like, yours isn't really any better.
Yeah.
Like, ours makes a little bit more sense than yours.
My favorite.
We don't like to tell the kids about death.
Yeah, she's very, very gentle about this because later on he's going to go to Lord Summerisle, who's going to do the same thing that she does, but in much more blunt terms. She tells him that, in a way, Rowan no longer exists, and she deliberately avoids saying that she's dead because in their religion, they don't really believe that anybody really dies because they're animists, and Rowan is passed on to the next phase. Her spirit returns to the earth and the elements. That's what they believe. Howie is apoplectic. But what about...
Yeah, he leaves. He is just like having a fit. He's just like, some sexist beasts.
Yeah, but what about Jesus Christ, woman? And she's like, right, fuck that. You can find Rowan's grave over at the old churchyard. We don't use it anymore. And she's really evasive and stonewalls us every question.
Well, some people use it still.
Howie goes over to the churchyard and finds it in terrible disrepair. Not a single grave bears a reference to Christianity. Finds a woman breastfeeding a baby while holding an egg in one hand. An altar to fertility has been set up at the end of the yard, and he angrily just throws it all aside, crafting a cross from a broken board.
Yeah, so Edward Woodward says that he went back there like many years later. I find
this very doubtful.
Yeah, and he was like, the cross was still there in that exact spot. It's like the cross is made out of like flimsy balsa wood. It might still be there if they'd had no weather or environment.
Right. So on his way out, he finds the groundskeeper mowing the grass. He points out that they plant trees over the graves, and then he points out one in particular, and the dude just up and tells him that it's Rowan Morrison's grave. Of course. Mm-hmm. Howie goes back to the post office to give Lady Morrison what for, and finds her treating her daughter's sore throat with an old folk remedy, placing a it's super gross. Placing a live frog in the girl's mouth for a few seconds. It's the source of the old saying, you have a frog in your throat.
Don't care for it.
Though I do love how playful she is about it.
That poor girl had to put a frog in her mouth.
He goes over to the library for some town records, and she tells him to fuck off until he gets permission to look at the death records.
What I love, though, is like there's one point Ingrid Pitt like whips out a can of peaches and slams it down on the desk.
Fuck, I love Ingrid Pitt, too. She's so great.
Mm-hmm.
He needs the permission of Lord Summerisle, but he threatens to arrest her, and she just hands them over. In the records, he finds a birth date for Rowan, but no death date. He shows the librarian the photo, and she recognizes Rowan on sight, but then claims to know nothing about her.
Yeah.
So he goes to the local pharmacy, which is a place stocked full of weird-ass materials for potions.
What are you talking about? Just a giant jar of foreskins on the shelf. What's weird about that?
The alchemist tells him he knows no Rowan Morrison. So he heads over to Lord Summerisle's place and witnesses Miss Rose leading a fertility ritual in a stone circle where naked women sing and dance around a fire before leaping over it. Looks like a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, but this is where it starts to feel like they're doing this just to fuck with him.
Like they're really putting on airs.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I mean, they would probably be doing this all the same, but maybe not with such zest.
I know. Have you ever heard of the Beltaine Fire Festival that they do in Edinburgh every year?
The name is familiar.
It's fucking amazing. You can look up photos of it. Like, this is like some kindergarten shit. Like that one over there, like everything's on fire. Everybody's naked. There's a fucking green man and a May Queen. Like there's a ton of like makeup and costuming. It's fucking amazing. Just Google that shit. It's incredible.
They're leaning in.
They are going crazy over it. I would love to fucking go there for it. Lord Summerisle's place is a big old Scottish manor packed with art, literature, and music. Lord Summerisle greets him as he watches the women leap over the fire and says, "Do you find the sight of young people refreshing?" "Absolutely not," says Howie.
And Christopher Lee, he has the most majestic helmet hair.
I love his hair in this movie. It is so fucking awesome.
It is big and floofy.
And when you hit it with the wind just right, it looks crazy. Mm-hmm. So Summerisle understands that he's looking for a missing girl. Howie tells him that he found her. Splendid. In her grave. And then the look just kind of melts off his face. He believes that she was murdered and that there's a whole big-ass conspiracy to cover it up. Summerisle denies that that's even possible. They're deeply religious people. And man, this sets Sergeant Howie off. Mm-hmm. You dare call this a religion? Look at those naked ladies everywhere. Everywhere I look, people are fucking. This whole island is Dick City and superstitious nonsense. Do they know nothing of Jesus? The Summerisle seizes the opportunity to remind him all the superstitious nonsense surrounding the birth of Christ. Here on Summerisle, they worship the old gods and they pass the tradition on down through the new generations. Jesus had his chance here, he says, and he, in the modern parlance, blew it.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is also where he's like, you're teaching them fake biology.
Yeah, Howie beside himself. Summerisle explains, in the days before his grandfather bought the island, the place was a Christian community and they worked their fingers to the bone to scratch out a meager existence. When his grandfather took over, a free thinker, a scientist, and an agronomist took advantage.
Yeah, he says, he originally was attracted to the island because of the profuse source of wiry labor.
He took advantage of the unique volcanic soil and warm coastal waters to test out new strains of fruits and vegetables, which took hold and grew tremendously. As he speaks, we see the surrounding landscape around the manor. It's lush with exotic plants, palm trees, and such. His grandfather encouraged the people to return to the old ways before the Christians came, and the community prospered greatly from this.
And there is something interesting about this story, because the implication here is that his grandfather is kind of exploiting them a little bit.
Yeah. Because one of the things he says, he sort of says, like, his grandfather gave them the old ways back. It's kind of like a here, take this bullshit and have fun with it.
Yeah, like this can be your entertainment. You deserve to enjoy your life or whatever. But there is the implication that like there is sort of this like almost tenant farming kind of setup.
It's collectivism. Like it is this there's no indication apart from the fact that they
it sounds more like feudalism.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, but like
because he is the wealthy one. He's the one who owns everything.
I suppose, but there's nothing. I mean, maybe. I suppose that there's nothing. The reason that I'm a little soft on it, and I really kind of identify it as just this kind of like farming collective, is because nobody seems to be disadvantaged by this. They're all living very well. Everybody seems
right.
Happy.
But I mean, that doesn't mean that they're not being exploited. Like they're not, just because they don't recognize it.
They don't really. I think the thing is they don't really lean into that in any sort of way. He just
It's not a part of the story.
Gone.
But it does seem like it was initially, because this is the way that a lot of Scottish communities were structured, where there was sort of a tenant farming, where they had a lord who owned all the land, and then they would sell whatever or give to him whatever they harvested. And it was sort of a shitty way of making a living, not making a living, as it were.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's kind of what's going on here. It's not a huge part of the story, or it doesn't really affect the story one way or another. But it is interesting that they do sort of inject that into it, this little historical note.
Yeah.
It doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't really amount to anything, because at the same time, like they really do kind of lean into the fact that this way of life is making these people very happy, and the community has thrived as a result of it.
But there is an obvious disparity between Lord Summerisle and them. He is clearly the one who's in charge. He's also quite a bit wealthier than the rest of them. He lives in a big castle. He has shitloads of money, obviously, where the rest of them don't. They're very rural farmers.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, his grandfather has come here and used that as a kind of a smoke screen for the fact that, like, I'm going to be making a lot of money off of this. You guys will be having a great time, though. You're going to be real happy.
So it's like that fucking and singing you guys get to do.
Yeah, there won't be any uprising because you'll have your happy, simple lives, and I will have my giant castle and ridiculous.
Look, and you'll also have these bonny corn rigs.
That's true. The corn rigs and the barley rigs make up for quite a lot of income inequality.
Yeah. So Lord Summerisle couldn't care less about Howie's Christian sensibilities, even as he accuses him of being a pagan, as if that's a bad thing.
He's like, I'm interested in one thing, the law. And it's like, I think you're actually interested in two things, the law and Jesus.
Yeah. So Howie demands his permission to exhume the grave of Rowan Morrison, which he agrees to, and then tells him more or less to fuck off.
Well, he says, I was under the impression I'd already given it to you, which is a great kind of like, you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So why are you even here?
Yeah. By night, Howie and the groundskeeper dig up the grave and pull the coffin out of the ground. They pry the lid open, which sends the groundskeeper into peals of laughter. The only thing inside the grave is a dead hare.
I have to admit, this scheme that they have all put together here,
it is
very elaborate.
It is quite the contrivance, and it is like a Swiss watch. There's like a billion parts, and everything has to go right. But
so I guess that's why that stupid review, not the IMDb one, the Daily News one,
the New York one,
is like a little bit. He's not wrong that like everything that leads up to this is a little bit absurd. But hey, man, it's a movie. You gotta just go with it.
So Howie goes back to Summerisle's place and finds him just drinking and singing the night away with Miss Rose.
Fucking Captain Liberace at the piano. He is like
in a fucking kilt and a ruffled collar. He tosses the dead rabbit at their feet and demands to know what's going on. And once again, Miss Rose and Lord Summerisle fucking stonewall him. He says,
Well, yeah, because he just threw a dead animal
goes,
at them.
I want to know what happened to Rowan Morrison. And Lord Summerisle says, I suppose you are the detective, Sergeant Howie.
But you know, you don't get the feel, and this I think is why I don't like the kind of rug pull at the end, is that they're being a little bit like sassy to him. They're being like, even Lord Summerisle is probably the one who's like the most indignant of them all, but they're really just responding not so much to what he's doing, but to how rudely he's doing it.
Yeah, they're just turning
Like,
this shit around on him.
Like, they're being kind of a little bit snarky with him because he's being an asshole.
Yeah, all the way.
And that's the way it feels. It's like they're not just gaslighting him or kind of fucking with him. They're really just kind of reacting to the fact that he's being really rude and condescending to them. That's how you would respond to someone like that. Or that's how I would respond to someone like that.
Whenever I have to, like, nowadays I have to be very cognizant of it, but like when I am faced with rude people, and this happened a lot when I was working on the weekends at the stores, I encountered very, very rude people all the fucking time. And it took everything I had in me not to fuck with them and provoke them. Because that is my immediate response to this kind of behavior, is just like, if you're going to be like this to me, then I am going to make you as miserable as I possibly can.
Like, and that's sort of what they're doing, is like, oh, I can be rude too, you'll see, and not very helpful because you're being an asshole. Yeah. And I think that's why it's like, that's why you can be so on board with this until the end, when it's like, oh no, we put this whole thing together to lure you here. It was a big trap. And it's like, you didn't really have to do that. You could have come up with a better way of you know, kind of finding a reason to get him into the Wicker Man. It felt like they could have just changed their fucking plans because this dude shows up and is a better sacrifice, and he sucks.
Yeah. Yep. So Summerisle,
like, you would be more sympathetic if it had been something like he's threatening our way of life, because then it makes a lot more sense, and you're still, you can understand why they would do something like that. Instead, what you end up with is an island full of murderers.
Yep.
Which is fine, but
yeah.
That's not what we're presented with for most of the movie.
Yeah. So Summerisle asks him what he thinks happened, and he tells him that he thinks she was a victim of pagan barbarity, whatever that means. He's going to go back to the mainland and report his findings to the constabulary, which is good because he won't be around to be offended by their pagan Beltaine celebrations.
Yeah, they're like, hey, yeah, you should probably go.
Like, listen,
if you don't like Fuckfest, you're going to hate Mayday.
He's like, listen, things are about to get real fucking horny around here. You're going to want to get lost. So Howie breaks into the pharmacy to look at the photo lab and finds the photos of last year's celebration. It's all weird ritual that you can't make much sense of, but he does find something interesting. The photo of the crop for last year was unlike the others that he saw. The boxes are...
Oh, right, because it's missing. The one from the previous year is missing.
Yeah. So the boxes are empty. There are no apples to speak of, and what's more, Rowan Morrison was last year's May Queen. So Howie goes back to his room over the bar and prays while everybody sings and dances below. And they perform a song as he tries to sleep. Willow knocks gently on his wall, singing a gentle song about coming to her room to say how do.
And this is like, he's sweating profusely.
Oh, yeah, he's like fucking...
And he's like, at one point, he's pounding on the wall. Like, he's sort of like banging on the wall,
he's like Steve Railsback up in here.
Yeah, it is it's interesting, and I think it does give you a little bit of insight into Howie's character, because at some point he says something like, "Oh, I'm engaged to be married, and I don't believe in premarital
yeah. This is
sex."
in the morning, because she's like, "Hey, I was like, why don't you come by my room, Mister?" And he's like, "I must not. I am engaged to be married."
And so, I think everybody can tell that that's a lie because he's an insufferable jerk. There's no way a woman would want to be with him, or anyone for that matter.
There is a moment in the opening of the movie right before it cuts to him flying to Summerisle. There's a woman in the pews in the congregation who's like, he's looking at her and she's smiling at him. And I think it's supposed to be like implied that they're somehow connected, but it is one of the sort of like moments of maybe they chopped that scene a little too heavily.
Yeah. And then with him like sort of it's like almost like keening at the wall. He's sweating. He's like,
oh yeah, he is so horny.
It's intended to show that like he is struggling with restraint, and it's like even he is imperfect. It's an interesting moment.
But at the same time,
it wasn't necessary.
It made me think that there was like a little bit of magic happening, because she's like up. It's very ritual what she's doing. She's tapping on the walls. She's slapping the walls. She's slapping.
I didn't even think of it that way. I read it as just like she is being very explicit about like, hey, come on over and fuck me.
I thought it was supposed to be like a magical siren call. Like she's doing a thing because she's like slapping her ass and she's like doing all this stuff, and it's
I guess
it's a
like
call
I could
to
see
him.
it. I could see it being performed that way, but I don't read actual magic in it. I see like she is just very obviously being like, come on over here. What are you doing? I'm waiting for you.
know.
And he is like, no, I mustn't. But he's like so tightly wound that that's really all he wants. And it does sort of demonstrate like, oh, he's just like everybody else.
Yes. He's like pressing himself against the wall. He's practically humping the wall. Also, the woman who sings the song, she sounds like Nico to me.
A little bit, yeah.
So in the morning, she brings him coffee, telling him that she invited him to come see her, but he must not because he is engaged to be married. And she's just like, hey, suit yourself. It's probably, and then she's like, hey, it's probably best you leave today. You're not going to deal well with it going on here during May Day.
Yeah.
So
and you're definitely going to hate the way it ends.
So he pops over to the library to read all about it. A celebration where the community leader dresses as an androgynous symbol of nature. A man rides a hobby horse, charging at and playing with all the women in the procession, and a man in a jester costume, the fool, is made king for the day. 6 men with swords dance along and perform a symbolic dance where the one celebrant's head is cut off. In times past, they would sacrifice animals and produce to the goddess of the field, but in bad times, they would resort to human sacrifice. So now Howie goes back to his plane ready to leave, but he finds the radio trashed and the plane unable to start. As he's rowed out, the townspeople watch from the shore wearing animal masks. The harbor master brings him back to shore, and Howie chases the man in the hobby horse costume around town, coming upon a great big feast where everybody dances, eats, and makes merry in preparation for the ceremony.
And this is, I think, where the movie starts to reframe how the way that they're presenting the
the way that
you.
Because they're no longer just like around like fucking with them. They're wearing these masks that make them look a little alien, and there's an
air of menace,
and they just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like I love the part where
they pop up of like from behind the thinking wall.
Yeah, I love when he goes to that one house to go in and have a look at, and the 2 girls appear in like mouse masks, and he's like, "Hey, take those masks off," and they're like, "No, get the hell out of here."
Yeah. Howie is like one of those losers who like, joins the army or the police in order to like force people to talk to him, because most people can't stand to be near him. So it's like that's who he is. He's like, I will use my authority because I know you won't talk to me. Otherwise I will force you.
I think it's kind of like the motivation for why like a lot of people become cops is they think that like with this badge comes respect and people will respect me. They reminded me.
They might comply, but that doesn't mean they respect.
No, it reminded me like years ago. I was taking one of my kids to school, like the first day of school, and they always did this thing where like the police would come because there's a shitload of traffic going in and out of there to sort of direct traffic, and at the entrance there was a cop in like the dress blues, like looking like a sort of like traditional police officer in these clothes, and he's smiling and he's like waving people in. He's very friendly. He's very happy. And on the other side, on the way out, is a much younger officer in a fucking tactical vest with his magazines like stuffed into the pockets and fucking like a taser and like a pistol and the fucking thing open with the assault rifle like in the front seat.
That's what kids want to see.
And I was like going in, like coming out, like this is the guy. Like the first guy, probably a nice dude, probably easy to work with, and like if I ever had to actually fucking deal with him, probably all right. This other guy, I want nothing to fucking do with him. Mm-hmm. So now Lord Summerisle addresses the crowd, conspicuously outlining the days going on as Howie watches from the shadows. They will march out to the countryside where they will perform a sacrifice to the sun god Nuada in anticipation of the harvest in the fall. Howie angrily charges back to the post office to tell her that he knows the truth and demands that she, a mother, cooperate with him, but she keeps on with her claim that she has only one daughter.
Yeah.
So now he runs through town, just door to door, searching the houses for Rowan. He finds nothing much interesting apart from some clown puppets and Ingrid Pitt naked in a bathtub. Also, kids just playing endless fucking pranks on him.
And there's like they set up the dolls in the bed to look like they're fucking too.
Yeah, again.
These people love fucking. They cannot get enough of it.
A baker bakes a huge loaf of bread in the likeness of a man representing John Barleycorn, the product of the fields. In a funeral parlor, he finds a body in a coffin with coins on its eyes, missing a hand.
There's also the moment where the little girl falls out of the cabinet looking dead.
I fucking love it.
That's probably the creepiest moment in the movie, because then like she falls, that's obviously a prank. She falls out, falls down, and then she sort of like slyly looks up and like looks at him, and it's really creepy.
I love it. He heads back to the inn, finding Willow alone, cleaning up. He'll have a shot of whiskey and then announces that he's heading up to his room for a nap. I will not be bothered. As he appears to sleep, Willow and her father, the innkeeper, whisper loudly outside of his room. They're going to burn a hand of glory to cast a spell that will keep him asleep while they do their thing out there.
Oh, we skipped the part about the salmon of knowledge, because I have a note. I have a note that says I will insist on being known as the salmon of knowledge.
Right. In one of the houses, he finds a guy, like an older gentleman who opens up his closet, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" And it's just like a costume of like a fish man. And he says, "It is my costume. I am the salmon of knowledge."
Yep. I will now, from henceforth, you will address me as the salmon of knowledge.
So once they're gone, the innkeeper gets into his costume as Punch, the fool. Howie wakes to find the hand of glory, an actual hand burning at the fingertips next to his bed. He jumps up, bum rushes the innkeeper, and steals his Punch costume.
Yeah, he fucking hits him with like a candlestick.
Could have fucking killed him.
And why don't they carry guns? I say thank God they don't.
Oh, he absolutely would have shot this guy. So Howie joins the procession as the fool. Lord Summerisle leads the pack as the man-woman, as everyone follows.
Lord Summerisle leads the pack as Patty Smith.
I was going to say Cher.
He's looking very much like John. What's his name? Joey Roan in a dress.
I love it. I fucking love that.
Listen, Christopher Lee is living in this scene. He's that frock does him a world of good. He is
merrily dancing along. I fucking love it. Yep, leads the pack.
It is a very strange visual.
It is. Everybody follows along in animal masks. Miss Rose, Willow, and the librarian rush at Howie in his costume, snapping at his ass with sticks. It's just a hell of a party.
Mm-hmm.
Arriving at the stone circle, the swordsmen join their swords in the shape of a hexagram, and the town people place their heads in the center as the crowd chants "chop." It's
a pretty cool moment.
It is pretty cool. They all pass through safely, Howie included, until a girl with a mask of the March hare steps in and they cut her head off. But it's all a ruse, a cunning attempt to trick us, and she's fine.
Perfect.
Down on the beach, Lord Summerisle presents several barrels of ale to the god of the sea, chopping them open and sending them into the surf as the crowd cheers.
All that sweet, sweet beer just wasted on the god of the sea.
Hey, listen, you got to pour one out for the god of the sea, otherwise he'll fuck you up. He turns and announces that it is now time for their most dreadful sacrifice. They turn towards the rock as a trumpet sounds. Rowan Morrison stands at the top in a white gown and a flower headdress. Howie runs up to rescue her as she calls out for his help, and they run into the caves as the town people of Summerisle chase close behind.
Now, this cave that they're in is called Wookiee Hole, which feels appropriately suggestive.
Oh, boy, yes. George Lucas has definitely been there. Mm-hmm. When they emerge from the cave into the daylight, they find themselves presented with Lord Summerisle, Miss Rose, and Willow. Rowan runs over to him and asks if she did everything right, and Lord Summerisle happily congratulates her on a job well done.
That's right, Howie. You have been betrayed by some saucy minx, just like your book said you would be.
Howie finds himself cornered against the ocean as the town people gather on a nearby ridge. The surf crashes against the rocks as Lord Summerisle welcomes Howie. The game has reached its conclusion. This was the cunningest of cunning attempts to trick him.
That's right. Oh, and this is where Christopher Lee's hair is out of control. It's
so
just
cool.
Blowing like
it's
wild.
So fucking awesome. He looks like Rick Sanchez.
Yeah.
He came to the island looking for Rowan, but the people of Summerisle played him from the moment he touched down. They made him think that Rowan was being kept for a sacrifice, but he's the sacrifice. The crop did in fact fail last year. It was a disaster, so this year's festival requires a sacrifice of greater potency. Animals and produce just won't do. Not even a child will be adequate. Their greatest sacrifice is a virginal man who comes to their island repping the power of kings.
Virginal man, baby.
he's just a great big stack of annoying authority and self-righteousness, and being a 40-year-old virgin just clinches the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
This year's harvest is gonna fucking rule, and all it costs is one annoying Christian asshole. So Howie makes a weak attempt to walk away, but finds the crowd on the ridge growing in size. They grab Howie and cut the punch costume away from him as he weakly protests, declaring the supremacy of his faith that will save him.
And so this, I think, is a really interesting point. And this might be one of the things that is maybe a little bit new in horror, is that unlike pretty much every other horror movie or every other movie ever made to that point, there is something really unsettling about how his faith in Christianity won't save him.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely irrelevant. It means
there
nothing.
is actually a moment here where he starts to kind of doubt that. Because at first his protests are, you're sinning. This is murder. You're committing a cardinal sin in the face of God. And they're just like, whatever, man, fuck you. And then he's
apples,
like,
man.
then he's like,
apples and fucking.
yeah. But then he's like, but like, it's against the law. Like, I'm a cop. Like, they're going to come here looking for me. And that's when like his faith wavers. And so the women prepare him for the ceremony, cleaning his face with their hair and ritually washing his hands. They clothe him in a white robe as they sing to their gods. Lord Summerisle kindly assures him that his god has granted him the gift of a martyr's death, but now he has to fulfill his appointment with the Wicker Man. He pleads with them. The crops failed because the climate and the land here just isn't suited for growing these crops, and honestly, that hasn't been an issue for a really long time, but hey, the dude's about to die, so I get these protests.
Yeah.
He begs Summerisle to be reasonable, but he rebukes him. The sacrifice will be accepted, and everything will be fine from here on out. So the crowd picks Howie up and carries him. As they crest the hill, he sees the vehicle of sacrifice, an effigy of a man made from kindling wood.
This was apparently the first time he had ever seen it.
I would probably also be like, holy shit, because it's a little alarming. And
so they kept saying, do you want it? Like, obviously they built it way in advance. And they were like, do you want to come see it? It's really cool looking. And he was like, no, I don't want to see it until we shoot that scene.
Because when he sees
that
he's
was
like,
sort of like his natural reaction. His awe is like, it's a little bit real.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty great.
He said that this is the scariest scene he'd ever filmed.
Oh shit. Yeah. Contained within are cages of chickens, pigs, and a cow. And in the middle is a cage suited for a man. They place Howie.
And apparently Britt Eklund said that a bunch of the animals were hurt during this. But Robin Hardy was like, no, they weren't.
No.
We were very, very careful to make sure that none of the animals were hurt in this movie.
Yeah. They place Howie inside and then they seal it up. The crowd stands ready as Lord Summerisle addresses the setting sun, asking that the sacrifice be accepted. Howie shouts out to them from the Wicker Man, telling them that the Christian god cursed their fields for turning away from him, and that he curses them all from his place in the Wicker Man as the men of Summerisle set it on fire.
So what he's doing, his eyes are moving, like darting around as he's doing this, and apparently he's reading the lines off of, they have like big, they posted them.
Big like cue cards?
Yeah, and they posted them around behind them. And so it makes it look like he's sort of pleading with them and shouting, and he is, obviously. But like, it's because he is going from back and forth to read each thing off of the card. It's a pretty clever way of doing it.
That's pretty awesome. That is pretty cool. The band plays as Lord Summerisle leads them in a rousing song about the coming summer. They sing and sway gaily as the Wicker Man burns and the flames reach Howie's feet. He sings out to God, drowned out by their happy tune. Howie offers one last prayer for the dying as the flames reach him and the Wicker Man is completely engulfed. It collapses before the setting sun. Roll credits.
It's a beautiful scene.
It is an amazing scene because it's shot from behind and the head sort of collapses out of frame and the sun is just there in its place. It's fucking fantastic. Yeah.
And again, there's that this is probably why people are like, yeah, this is all Waxman. He is the reason it looks the way that it looks.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like he definitely, Robin Hardy definitely had a lot of experience directing at this point, but he's directing like industrial films. So like his filmmaking experience is not much unlike George Romero's in the same way.
Yeah, it's pointing and telling people where to go and what to do.
Yeah, and so like a skilled, experienced DP will go a long fucking way. It's just like, the way that like Dean Cundy makes a John Carpenter movie like that much more special.
Or makes every movie
that
much more special.
Yeah. So that's it. The Wicker Man.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot. This is one of those ones that I always tell myself, yeah, I never really liked that movie. And then I watch it and I'm like, yes, I do. Why do I always think that?
Yeah. No, I really love this movie a lot. It's like there's a couple of movies that I watch every year, like on a certain holiday. Like I always watch Jaws around like on July 4th. I watch Halloween on Halloween. I watch My Bloody Valentine on Valentine's Day. I watch this on May 1st.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit messy in parts, a little sloppy. Like I said, I don't like what they do with the end. I don't like that they sort of twist it to make them more menacing. I think it would have been more affecting if they really were just these people just kind of like, this is our way of life and you're coming here to threaten us. And that makes way more sense than we have lured you here in this absurd plot. It's like wildly convoluted plot to get you here. First of all, how did they even know who he is?
Yeah, like he said, I know this is sort of the flimsiness of the ending a little bit, but like there is a moment where Lord Summerisle says something like, "We did our research," and I was like, "Sure, you did." but
yeah, that's a lot of research.
Like, but I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it.
You watched a couple YouTube videos about you, and that's why we all voted for you.
Right. We watched your TikTok.
Yeah, these are all like like sort of small things. Ultimately, it's a kind of a wild story from beginning to end. It's good. It's well paced. It looks good. It's not scary. It's not,
No, it's not scary at all. The thing that I think is and I said it up top, and I didn't really elaborate on it much, is what I love about it, which I think really sort of makes it so special to me, is how it makes me sort of complicit in the murder of this character, because I hate Sergeant Howie so fucking much, and his behavior is so egregious, and the lifestyle that these people lead on Summerisle is so attractive to me. Like, it is so carefree.
I bet it'd be
everybody seems
pretty boring because we don't actually get to see them harvesting and the planting. Farming kind of sucks.
Look, if I just get to like sing and like just have a good time with all these freaks, just putting it all out there on Front Street. No hang-ups.
This is the lead up to the big day for them. They live their lives for this. Yeah. I bet the rest of it is pretty unglamorous.
I'm seeing them.
You don't get to be the salmon of knowledge all the time.
He says you. I'll be wearing
That's true. I don't know.
They don't know what I do when I go home. I put my salmon of knowledge costume on and just fucking watch TV.
That's why the fucking Wicker Tree or whatever sucks, because it's just them farming the rest of the year.
No,
watching videos about Sergeant Howie.
Yeah, this is a very special movie to me. I love this movie a lot. It's so much fucking fun, and
it's good. It's different,
and not just that. Like it's Christopher Lee is one of my favorite actors. He's one of my favorite horror actors, and he is so charming and so much fun and so cool in this role that it's got so many elements that just are synergized. The synthesis of all of these elements is just so fucking perfect.
Well, he's also usually buried under like 10 pounds of makeup and costumes too. So This is nice to just see him just wearing a nice house dress.
Yeah, get it.
Letting his hair down.
Walking around in a kilt, ruffled collar.
Mm-hmm.
Living it up.
Just living.
Love it. Fucking
chewing on all the scenery.
Oh, so good. I wish there was a little bit more Lord Summerisle in this movie.
He is surprisingly limited in the amount of screen time he gets in this.
Yeah, it's like
instead we just follow this other asshole around, watch him be rude to people for an hour and a half.
Yeah, fucking A. The Wicker Man. It's so good, so goddamn good. So what's next?
Well, as you said, next week coming back, 99-cent rental, doing a little David Lynch Blue Velvet.
It's gonna be weird.
It's not one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites.
Been a long time since I've seen it, though.
Been a long time. Been a long, lonely time.
Well, and then 2 weeks. Going to space. Bring me the axe. With Alien.
Yeah. No corn rigs. No barley rigs.
I mean, they're not in. You don't see them, but you can assume.
They're probably Bonnie, though.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of other things are not Bonnie in that one, though. Namely, the xenomorphs.
Scary. They're scary.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week with Blue Velvet, a little more David Lynch for your ass. And then, 2 weeks. We're going to space with Alien.
Huzzah!